Yes, everybody, Russ and the West Ham Network. Hope you are all safe and well. We won a bloody game of football. Come on. Wasn't pretty, was sloppy, but it was a win. It takes up to 14th. It's lunchtime today. I went through my ratings. Let me know what you think about them and disagree with them as per usual. But now we're on this conveyor belt. Now we've got, now we've got this conveyor belt all to Newcastle. Yesterday means nothing unless we get something in the Newcastle game. Ideally 3 points, but some sort of to keep the momentum going. And tomorrow night we'll have Kendall, the Newcastle fan, on to have a little chat as we use. She's great fun, really knowledgeable, and we'll have her on tomorrow night sometime. So make sure you keep an eye out. Also, thank you to everyone who joined me and Anton for our 24-hour live stream for the Iron Supporting Food Banks hashtag Bring a Quid campaign. I think we raised about £1,000 over the night itself, but it's not that. It's about this awareness. And obviously, anyone who was at the game yesterday would have seen that Iron Supporting Food Banks. John Ratomski was honoured by the club with his as part of the Premier League's one of their own campaign, where each club could had to nominate one person, that one fan that they thought exemplified, the community spirit and stuff like that. And obviously John is that person. So he's been given the squad number 95, Ratomski 95, and he was joined on the pitch by Ginge to present the award. And also they had the Pearly Kings there doing the bucket shaking, all that type of thing. So they'll be there on Wednesday. So make sure you bring a quid and take a picture of it and put it on Twitter, and let's keep this momentum going. Thanks also to Graham and the boys from theseamotherBrown.com, as well as everyone else, Falls from Iron, West Ham Unofficial, the Claret and Booze boys, despite the fact they pressed the button and closed the stream at 1 o'clock in the morning. Loads of people. E20 Zone, Jazz, JP. I'm going to forget someone. I do apologise. Who else? Alf, obviously, Milesy. We had Phil doing the Soccer Saturday. Fair play to Rio from These at Mother Brown, because he kept on persisting with his internet, and I was glad he came back. He's hilarious. And also people like Diamante. We had Billy Horseshoe on. We had Terry the Baker on. Loads of people, Kieran, Budgie. It was a really, really good show. Obviously, X and the Babbly Nines did a game show with us, and you can go back and watch some of it. You can go. What we're going to do is we're going to put some of the sort of the segments up as individual videos. You don't have to scroll through the whole bloody thing. So we'll put the interviews up with the 99 boys and Diamante and stuff like that. So that'll be over the next couple of days. But anyway, enough. Let's move on now. I've had some sleep. And I went to bed a little bit happier last night, having got out of the bottom three. And 14th, dizzy heights. But anyway, Hammers headlines in association with the KUMB.com boys. 3 stories. The first one surrounds a bit of forward planning, potentially. West Ham's own version of Succession. So obviously, apparently, by all accounts, according to a couple of media sources, we've spoken about this play before, but the Declan Rice succession plan looks to be falling into place and is underway already, as an agent who's set to work on brokering the deal for his replacement. As you know, the clock is ticking with Declan Rice. I think it's an open secret that he will be leaving this summer. 98% sure he'll be leaving this summer. And a host of clubs have been linked to, with Arsenal looking like the ones who are the favourites after the Hammers rejected the biggest contract in West Ham history in favour of potentially moving in the summer. Now, attentions behind the scenes at West Ham have turned to his replacement for some time now, and obviously, it's shows a bit of foresight, really, with fans following the rumours, well aware of growing that West Ham are looking at maybe signing the Serbian star Milinkovic Savic as a replacement for Declan Rice in the summer transfer window. That's obviously provided we stay up in the Premier League, of course, but we need to, irrespective, and people are saying, "Oh, why are you talking about rumours now?" We don't want to have to wait until the May, and then we're caught the back foot a little bit. So this makes perfect sense to try and put things in place. The Sun have previously claimed that the Lazio midfielder has been earmarked as the man to West Ham will spend big on, and when Rice inevitably leaves. And if West Ham do stay up and Rice is expected to fetch between 80 to 100 million pounds, his replacement could be signed for about a third of that, around 35 million pounds. As I said, the agent has been instructed to broker the deal for the replacement. And a new report from Calcio Mercato claims the first farewells are already taking place between Lazio and Milinkovic Savic after 8 years in Rome. They've made it clear they're willing to grant him his wish to leave and have actually instructed his agent, former Chelsea forward, I think, amongst other clubs, Mattea Kaisman, to find a buyer at the £35 million mark. And according to another report from Calcio Mercato, they've been busy this week, it's claimed that West Ham have already had their initial offer via the 28-year-old's agent. 35 million is a bargain. He's 28. I think he's the type of player who West Ham fans would adore, because he's got that bit about him. He's a fantastic player, but he's got that little bit of grit about him, a little bit of puts a foot in, about him. Like West Ham fans like that type of player, and so I think he would be an outstanding replacement for Declan Rice. I'd say I think Milinkovic Savic has 1 year left in his contract as well, so hence why the bargain price. I mean, 35 million is still no pocket change, but still it's a a sizable transfer for West Ham. But for a player that caliber, it won't surprise me if a number of other clubs are after him. So hopefully we can steal a march on him in terms of bringing him in to London Stadium. But we'll keep an eye on that. Obviously, nothing's set in stone, but things, succession plans have been put in place, which is hopefully good to hear, rather than he leaves on the last day before transfer window. We've got all his money in the bank, we can't spend it. But apparently another guy we're looking at, maybe in terms of spending the Declan Rice money, is Hakim Ziyech from Chelsea. West Ham are one of several sides interested in signing him, with the Moroccan set to leave Stamford Bridge in the summer. According to Jules Foutel, the media outlet in France, who say the Hammers are one of several clubs as he's pushing to leave. They explain, despite having a fantastic World Cup with Morocco, hello, never forget, Ziyech has found himself out of Graham Potter's plans. Well, did find him outside of Graham Potter's plans. We'll see what happens. Obviously, I wrote this yesterday before he got sacked. So even the incumbent manager coming in, he's not managed a single minute of action in his last 3 games, and that lack of consideration is apparently the straw that broke the camel's back, and he's determined to leave the Blues. He pushed hard in January, if you remember. He was close to joining PSG on loan, I believe, but an administrative error from Chelsea scuppered that move at the last minute in terms of delivering the paperwork in time. He remains in contact with the French Giants, but has also had several contacts in the Premier League, and apparently West Ham are one of those interested in him. The fee could be around 15 to 20 million euros, although a loan deal with an option to buy could be even more lucrative and maybe more useful for the Blues potentially. West Ham could presumably be able to afford either of those options, particularly, as I said, if Rice is moved, it leaves for Arsenal. And I mean, he earns around €7 million a year in terms of numbers, a figure which few clubs could match. So he would need to take maybe a wage reduction in that, but we shall see. But he's a good player, you're thinking the likes of Lanzini maybe moving on. He's got, he's skillful, but he's quick as well. And obviously, he's got that Moroccan connection with Aguerd as well. So, where it was all Czech players, it could be all Moroccan players we're linked with now. And, they're not too shabby, are they? Beating Brazil last week and getting to the semi finals of the World Cup. So, not too bad. And talking about our Morocco defender in Naif Aguerd, West Ham has been ranked among the top 10 fastest defenders in the Premier League this season, according to Squawka. The Moroccan recorded a speed of almost 35 kilometers per hour early in the campaign, placing him 9th in the list of the top fastest defenders in the league. He's the only West Ham player on the list, with Arsenal's Kieran Tierney recording the fastest speed at just 36 kilometers per hour. So only one, he can do one better, surely. Obviously, he's only played, I don't know, less than a dozen Premier League games this season because of injury. But since he's come in, he's been a revelation, there's no doubt. I thought he was man of the match yesterday, for sure. Particularly after coming back from surgery, he's now recovered. He's played, he's playing at 90 minutes under his belt all the time now. I think he's done the last 10. his last 10 league games, he's played 90 minutes, and he finds himself as one of the only few centre backs in the top 10 list, with the majority occupied by the fullback roles, as you'd imagine. So I mean, he was exceptional yesterday as well. So it's about keeping him fit and healthy, particularly in this crazy. We've got one game done, 8 to go in April, and we'll see what happens by the end of it. And that's it, my friends. Thank you very much for your time, as per usual. Always, if you're if you want to donate to the food banks, we've got the Just Giving link. We'll put that in within the description. And also, if you're going to the game on Wednesday, don't forget to put a quid in the buckets for John and his team. Also, John Ratomski 95, or he should get his shirt on his back now, and all that good stuff. So take care, stay safe, stay warm, stay humble. Come on, you irons, keep the faith. I'll do this. Come on, you irons, keep the faith, and we'll see you guys very, very